Today, we're looking at the job market towards the end of 2024 and into the new year of 2025. I'll give you guys a little spoiler. It is not good. Okay, it is tough out here to get a job. My partner has been applying for jobs for about it's gonna be a year. It's pretty much a year. She has got a retail job at the moment. It's all she could find. And even that was a struggle. Like, you get rejections from retail jobs. You get rejections from any and all jobs nowadays, okay? So don't think even those jobs are easy. They're not. But hopefully, she'll get one eventually. And in the meantime, let's look at some videos, see what everybody else is doing.
People would have told me in the beginning of my job search is that when you're looking for a new opportunity, think that you are stupid. Like, people think that you're an idiot. The amount of times I was told, oh, it's about networking. Have you tried reaching out to your alumni network? Have you tried applying for non-technical roles? Have you tried? And it's like, yes. Like, duh, I'm not an idiot here. And it kind of gets to a point where it's like, what do you do when you have tried literally everything? And a lot of people try to take advantage of you just feeling very insecure over the job search, and they try to get you to buy some BS course. So many people give you the same advice over and over and over again, and it just gets so frustrating, and you already feel so alone during your job search. It feels like that everyone around you has a great opportunity besides you.
I don't know if, is it arrogance or ignorance, but yeah, I feel like this is super relatable where you have people employed, maybe they've got a graduate job and they've just got in straight away, then they've been able to, you get those automatic promotions almost after you've been at a graduate job for a while, and then you can switch to another company, and you think just getting a job is easy, and if somebody doesn't have a job, they're either lazy or bad at finding a job or interviewing or whatever. And it's just not the case, especially nowadays. This job market is no joke whatsoever. And yeah, it can be tough when people are almost in a bit of a condescending tone. Even like friends and family can come across this way, especially elders who, the job market back in, say, the 80s or the 90s was just completely different because there wasn't LinkedIn and stuff, so there wasn't this mass pool of applicants. There might have genuinely been 3 to 5 people going for this job, and the other few might not be qualified at all, and so you were a bit qualified, and then boom, you just got the job, and it was just like that. And times have changed.
I can't do it. I literally cannot do this anymore. I've been looking for a job for 6 months now. I have gone through so many emails, so many rejections, so many interviews. I've explained what I'm doing, explained what I wanted. I'm so just sick of it. I genuinely don't know how people are finding entry-level jobs. They are impossible to find. I am getting so frustrated. I'm so sick of it.
I think, yeah, particularly entry-level jobs are definitely in a really bad place at the moment, especially with the bit of a decline that there has been in the economy, although the stock market would not say the same. It is funny, we have this imbalance where the economy technically is fine because the stock market is up. But then if you look at how people are living day to day, the cost of living crisis, the average person is really struggling. But as long as the companies are making profit, I guess the economy is fine. But yeah, in terms of entry-level roles, you have this really highly educated workforce in most of the Western world as well, where, nearly everybody's gone to college, so kind of everybody has a degree, so that's no longer this differentiating factor it used to be before. And then if you don't have the experience, well, you can't get the experience without the entry-level job, so how do you get the experience for it, right? So, I mean, I think there is some things you can do, you can definitely do specialized courses, learn certain skills, and they can really give you a kind of foot up. But then outside of that, there's things maybe interning for free, but that's such a privilege. To be able to just go and intern for free is a luxury just most people do not have. And when you gotta pay rent, if you're in an expensive city, heck, if you're actually anywhere and you have to pay rent, You're not doing that while working for free. Like, that's so difficult.
This is your sign to not quit your job. No matter how frustrated you are, how mad you are, do not quit your job, especially if you don't have another job lined up. Because 2 weeks ago, I had an interview with Marriott, and she told me that I had the job, only for her to text me and tell me that unfortunately I no longer have the job. Then I had another interview downtown at a bar, but when I texted him to clarify that start date, he left me on red and then blocked me. Another interview at a daycare, only for her to tell me that I don't meet the qualifications. Then this morning I wake up at 8:30 because I have an interview at 10:30, only for them to email me and tell me they've canceled my interview because they're no longer hiring candidates and they forgot they had their job posting up. Don't quit your job. Talk to managers, figure out a solution, do what you do.
I'm gonna start off by saying she is going through it. That is so tough. She's getting like really unlucky and just, yeah, not a good luck at all. Yeah, I mean, quitting a job in this like market is really just a terrible idea unless you have serious like either savings or maybe you have some sort of income coming in, whether it's like a side hustle or like rental property, something like that. Then maybe you can justify it, but at the moment, really wouldn't do it until you have another job locked in. Like, even if it's rough, like, I'd probably recommend sticking at it for now. Or actually, if you still live at home, I guess you're not paying rent. You can probably get away with it, but that's about it.
Applied to so many jobs. It's so exhausting. Waking up every single morning and doing the same thing over and over and over again and not really getting anywhere even though it's been this long. I know I'm qualified, but it makes me feel so less than. Like, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I went to college, I got my degree from a good school. It should not have to be this hard. Like, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Like, I have tried everything. Even jobs that I'm so qualified for, I'm not even getting. I see people who have literally a pea for a brain and they're making so much money and, you know, they don't do anything at work. I don't get it. The system sucks and it's not fair.
I mean, yeah, it's not fair. And whilst it's applicable to life, it's definitely applicable to the job market as well. You know, ultimately, they could have got the job by just like knowing people, or, you know, they might actually be good at the job, but they're like underplaying it and stuff like that. I do think, and just like touching on it again, it really can be super defeating. Not only getting rejected from like jobs and stuff, but just the whole process is so much effort. Like, if you're like doing actual job applications and you're serious about getting a new job, you're gonna have to be doing cover letters, okay? Like, that's a little way you can distinguish yourself. And, you know, they take a long time to do and they're a lot of effort. And if you're applying for a lot of jobs, it's not ideal. But like, you gotta do that, right? Then, okay, let's say great, you actually got an interview, which is pretty difficult nowadays. Okay, you finally got the interview. Okay, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do a second interview, then we're gonna third interview, then we need you to do this project, then we need you to do this presentation, then we've got a fourth interview, and oh, you didn't get it. But we did successfully waste 10 hours of your time. Or, even better, it was like a ghost job, not even a real job, and it was just wasting everybody's time. But yeah, it's not a fun time looking for a job.
I did everything right. I went to a great college, had great grades, had a great major. I even graduated with over $500,000 in sales. That's not good enough to get me a job. I've been applying for jobs for 4 months full time, and thankfully I've had my bills covered because I worked, but I've been doing it full time and haven't gotten a single offer. But what's worse than these job rejections that I'm getting is my family's rejection. You know, nobody understands this problem other than the people who are dealing with it right now. And my parents just think I'm lazy every single day that I don't have a job. And my prayers and my thoughts go out to everybody that's dealing with this problem, because I don't know if I can deal with it for another day. I'm about to throw my degree in the trash and just start a business because...
Yeah, I mean, that touches on one of the points I was getting older, like your elders, your family, maybe your parents, your aunts, your uncles. They really don't appreciate how difficult it is right now. You know, like I said earlier, they used to it being a lot easier to get a job. And fundamentally, back then, if you didn't get a job, especially with a degree, right, you probably were lazy. And that's probably a fair assumption to make. However, that's just not the case anymore, and it doesn't translate, and it's just not fair. But like, these factors really diminish you, right? So you're getting rejected from the jobs that you're spending a load of time applying for. Now, like, your family's on you, your friends are being like indirectly sometimes like condescending because they have a job and they found a lot easier. And it can just get really, really difficult. Also comes back to that kind of highly educated workforce. I think CS jobs are a good example of that, where in the last, say, 5 years, so many people have gone into those degrees and graduated with them, and you've ended up with an oversupply of what was really good 5 years ago. Like in like 2020, 2021, if you were a CS graduate, you're doing really good. Nowadays, just not the same case. They've had so many layoffs that if you now go for a job as a graduate, you're probably competing with people who've got laid off from like Google or Meta or Amazon, who have 2 or 3 years experience there. They're always going to beat you to an interview, right? So it's really, really difficult. And there just isn't enough jobs to go around.
Media has been completely lying to you about the job market. The job market in 2024 is absolutely brutal. I've been in the recruitment space for coming up to a decade, and I've never seen candidates struggle as much as they are right now. I've also talked to hundreds of recruiters that have also been laid off, and many of them are still struggling to find work. In this market, you literally have to apply to hundreds, if not thousands of jobs, and you're likely going to see a 1 to 3% response rate. That means if you apply to 100 jobs, you might only hear back from one of those places. We're also seeing a lot of ghost jobs right now. Ghost jobs are essentially where companies post jobs for jobs that they think they're going to hire for in the future. So they might not be hiring right now, but if they can get candidates and applicants to apply, then when they do go to hire, they have a head start. I hate this practice, but we are seeing more and more of it. We're also hearing about really long interview processes, like 5, 6, 7, even 8 or 9 rounds of interviews.
That video definitely kind of covered a lot of things that I've already been talking about in this video, from the hiring process to like the ghost jobs. It's just not ideal. I wish somehow, and it's one of the things I really hate, is ghost jobs just like either need to be like made illegal, or there has to be some sort of compensation where a hiring process is over a certain amount of time. Okay, so if you do, I don't know, let's say more than 3 interviews and more than like 1 presentation or project, that the hiring candidate has to get like some sort of compensation, because the amount of time you're taking up from that person, especially for it to end up being a ghost job, like it's so unethical, and it's so unfair.
Next month will be officially 1 year since I have been unemployed and got laid off from my agency job. I've networked, I've interviewed, got to multiple last rounds, always got the same feedback that they went with somebody with more experience, but I was a great candidate. I've applied to over 1,000 jobs. I've applied to even low-paying jobs. I've applied to internships. I don't know what else to do. I ask questions at the end of the interview. I get to know them. Like, I don't know what else.
I mean, sadly, that's just reality. I mean, coming up to 1 year unemployed is absolutely brutal, and my heart really goes out for her. Hopefully, she'll get a job soon, and you know, everything comes to an end. She will eventually get one, but for now, absolutely brutal. I think just the key takeaway is it's not as simple as doing all the right things. You know, it's like a lot of things in life, I guess. You can do everything that everybody tells you and listen to all the advice, but sometimes you just need that bit of luck, you know? So you could apply for 1 job and get it. You could apply for 1,000 and not. You know, you just got to keep going to the next one. It's kind of like this YouTube channel. I'm just going video after video. You know, some get 10 views, some get 1,000. Maybe one day some will get 10,000. But you got to just keep trying. Keep at it. If you're looking for a job right now, just keep going. Like and subscribe. That'll obviously give you good luck. Okay, it won't, but you should do that anyways. And best luck to you. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are searching for a job or have any experience. And I'll see you guys on the next video.